Good morning and welcome to an all-new Eye of the Tiger. I'm Ryan Collins.
And I'm Annabella Vaden.
Talent show submissions are open until February 2nd for anyone who's interested in showing off their personal talents and skills.
You can sign up for the talent show by emailing me. My school email, tyler.jacobs@student.rjhsd.us.
After months of waiting, the vending machines have been delayed once again because they didn't fit in their newly installed cases.
The enclosures were made. Those are the kind of fancy ones that have our logo on it. And without getting too into it, they're 38 inches deep. Well, the vending machines are also exactly 38 inches deep. So, however that got mixed up, the actual doors to close the enclosure can't come down because it's exactly 38 inches deep. It needs to be about a half inch less, or the enclosures need to be a half inch more, or something like that.
And now let's go to Joseph Bianchini with sports.
Good morning and welcome to this Tuesday's edition of EOTSN. I'm Joseph Bianchini. Over the weekend, Roseville Comp Cheer went on a quick trip to Las Vegas to compete in a national tournament. They definitely made the most of the trip, returning to Roseville as the Jams 2023 national champs.
It felt really good because the season has had a lot of ups and downs, so it felt really good to just bring home first at our last competition.
In other sports news, via the Roseville Tigers football Instagram, it was announced that the football team would be receiving brand new unis for next season. The Tigers will be rocking the all-orange at home and the white jersey black pant combos on the road. Varsity has been rocking Nike for the past few years and now will go to Under Armour for the foreseeable future.
I feel really good, it'll definitely bring us motivation to win more games, We're going to smack all the teams when we play with those new jerseys, definitely.
And really quickly, here's what game action we've got in store as we near the end of winter sports. Today, both soccer squads take on Intercom with the boys on the road and the girls at home. Tomorrow, boys basketball get a date with River Valley. On Thursday, we get more action versus River Valley with the girls basketball team hosting them here. And finally, on Friday, the boys basketball team has the Casaba game at home versus Yuba City, while both the soccer teams take on Wood Creek with the boys on the road and the girls at home. And that's all on your home for Roseville High School sports, top plays, breakdowns, and more. Eye and Tiger Sports Network, EOTSN. And now we go over to entertainment.
Thanks, Joseph. Last Friday, Lil Yachty dropped his highly anticipated album, Let's Start Here. Unlike all of Yachty's previous projects, this is not a rap album. Taking major inspiration from one of his favorite groups, Pink Floyd, as well as someone we've seen him work with in the past, Tame Impala, this is very unexpected. Considering his last album was centered around Detroit-style rap, I feel this project and new sound really shows off how versatile Yachty can be when he tries. Now, with such big changes for the album, is it actually good? Yachty took to Twitter to express one of his biggest goals with the project was to be respected as an artist and not thought of as some SoundCloud rapper. And after hearing this album, I think many people will change that opinion of him. One of the biggest highlights of Let's Start Here is the production. Yachty uses his own voice with a mix of unique auto-tuning to create some crazy melodies, such as in the song Pretty. As well as some incredible solo vocal performances from other artists. Considering his last album featuring people like Babytron, this album saw a big difference in guest artists with multiple features from Fushi, Daniel Caesar, Tizo Touchdown, and more. Another highlight of the album definitely has to be the instrumentals. With a heavy use of guitar and drums, including several dramatic breakdowns, which are some of my favorite parts of the album, Yachty let a lot of the instrumentals shine rather than him or other artists singing over the entire song. My one negative takeaway from this album is that it does start to get a little repetitive, with some of the songs kind of sounding pretty similar as you go through the project. Overall, this album is much deeper and in-depth and miles different than anything Yachty has ever put out. I give it a solid 8 out of 10, and some of my personal favorite songs from the album are Drive Me Crazy, I've Officially Lost Vision, Pretty, and The Black Seminole. And now we go back to news.
Thanks, Carson.
During the storms earlier this month, a teacher at RHS had an unexpected visitor overnight. We go to Ryan Collins with more.
During the recent weather swings within Sacramento, tragedy struck at RHS teacher Mr. Addington's house. Hefty property damage after an 80-foot eucalyptus tree crashed through his house late into the night.
Well, it was pretty exciting. I mean, I don't know if exciting is the right word, but it was dramatic. So it was on that January 7th. It was during that horrific windstorm that we had, where we had those 70-mile-an-hour winds. This giant 100-foot eucalyptus that's next to my house came right out of the ground and just caved right over and just crushed my house. Came right down on the roof.
Mr. Addington's office and living room destroyed after the gaping hole in the ceiling opened, allowing the outside in.
And then, of course, the worst part is that when it sliced through the attic, our attic is full of that blown-in cellulose insulation, and that stuff just got blasted everywhere. It went all over the house. So there's wet insulation everywhere. And then because there was a huge hole in the roof, the rainwater just poured into the house. So soaking wet, full of insulation, and no gas. It cut off the gas line.
Mr. Addington also is aware that others were affected by these storms.
Well, just that I know that I'm not the only person that had like issues with these storms. You know, people had fences blown down and cars crushed, and so a lot of damage happened. So I'm just really fortunate that nobody got physically hurt, but I know that we're not the only people that got storm damage.
Mr. Addington advises others to be aware of the surroundings of their homes in hopes to avoid this in the future for others.
I am now going around telling everybody to take a really good look at the big trees near their house. So if you've got a big tree, tall tree, it's been there a while, go take a really good look at it and make sure that it's like not in a place where it could fall and hurt anything.
Thanks, Ryan.
That's it for us today on Eye of the Tiger.
And remember, we're always on at eyeofthetigernews.com. See you next time.